Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Happy Tuesday. Happy September 30th. Tomorrow is October. We've made it through September. And boy, did we get a lot done so far. We're not done yet, but we got a lot done. Channel's doing great. You guys are amazing. Really appreciate all the support, guys and ladies. Everybody out there, appreciate you. You know, we're just rocking over here. Yesterday we got the doors installed. They're fitting pretty good. You guys have seen most of this, but not too bad. There's adjustments still to be made, but not bad. We did get the latch system put back in on both doors. That way we can actually open them up. I didn't want to put the actual door handles on yet, but listen to this. Click, click. Love that. When things actually work the way they're supposed to, it's amazing. So, here's where we're at on the 1958 Chevy Apache, okay? We're at a point where the entire cab is blocked, alright? Forget about the doors, okay? But the cab itself is blocked. What we still have to do is run around and spot fill all over this cab, okay? So a little body filler, spot filler, whatever it takes. Areas like this. You see the pitting? I want to take care of some of that. You got some of it here. Things like this. Little stuff. Little pits. Things of that nature that need to be taken care of. We still have, you can see right here where that's a patch panel where we welded. I need to put a skim coat on that, probably a Duraglass. I did think that this roof was perfect. I lied. There's one issue with this, and it's right here. There's a little something right there. So we need to take care of that. The rest of the roof is perfect, but there is something there we're gonna have to deal with. You can't see it from inside because it's hidden by this panel. So we'll deal with that. A lot of the back of this cab is pretty good. Like this side of the cab, kind of if you cut straight down the middle and go this way, is pretty good. This side of the cab requires a little more work. And when I say work, I don't mean a lot. There's just little things. There's a little dent right here. There's a little something right here, a little crease right there. There's a dent there. There's a dent there. And they're not big dents, they're just little guys. So we got to get that figured out and start going down that road a little bit. But yeah, so far so good. Now, doors have to come back off at some point in the next week, and that's okay. That's okay, but they're on, they fit, we know they fit. Now we've done the adjustments on the hinges and stuff, because what we didn't want to do is to have to do all that when the jambs are painted and the doors are painted and trying to put the doors on for the final time. It would be a nightmare. And it's just so much easier when you actually have it set to where you can do your adjustment. So really happy here. So the next 2 days are going to be nothing but spot filling and just really bringing this cab, not so much the doors, but the cab into the world that it needs to be in. And it's 75% there already. So happy with that. Now, when it comes to other things that need to be done here in short order, the Volkswagen thing does not run because the battery was dead. Been charging it up overnight, so it's ready. Got a green light. It's nice. So I need to put the battery back in, and I need to put my new battery cable, negative cable in. So I just got to bolt it on. But that's what needs to happen here. Get that back in there. We've already got it all cleaned up, and then we should be good on that front. And at some point, doesn't mean it'll be today, but at some point I need to jack the front of this up, and I need to adjust the steering box one more time to get a little more play out of it and try to loosen the box up a little, so that, I don't know if that's a possible thing, but just to try to get a little better steering, a little looser steering anyway. So that's something that needs to happen here. I do need to get that front bumper into the shed and that fender into the shed to get them out of my garage so that I can move in here, because right now it's just, you know, there's too much stuff. So because when we go in the next couple days, we get this, the goal is to spot fill and then heavy prime the whole cab, and then we're going to lift the cab off onto a cart or a dolly that we need to construct, we need to build, and have the cab over here kind of up a little bit so we can work on it so that I can get to this frame, because there's a lot of things that need to happen to this frame, and October's a busy month and there's a lot of things that are going to get ordered in October. The complete Mustang 2 Hyatt's Mustang 2 front suspension with the Willwood brakes is getting ordered October 16th. So, you know, there's things that need to be farther along than they are in order to get that here and get that installed. So just got a lot of work to do. So stay tuned for all this, guys. Today I'm going to be spot filling on the cab, and I'm going to definitely throw the battery back in the thing probably first thing this morning, just to get that out of the way, and then we'll move on from there. Stay tuned, guys. Alright guys, so here's what we've got. Battery's back in. It's got a new negative cable. We got the protect and spray on there with the little pads on both positive and negative. Should be good there. Duct board's back in. I got to put the back seat back in here. Got it running at the moment. Just letting her do her thing. She hasn't ran in probably a month, so letting her get going here. But otherwise, things looking pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do on the thing is put the back seat in, and then I'm going to come up here. I popped a fuse. I'm going to replace the fuse, and that was my stupidity. And then I'm going to take the steering wheel off and get the steering wheel straight, because right now straight is basically upside down, just so I can at least easier to drive around the neighborhood. And then we'll work our way up here and we will tackle the steering. We will jack this up and we will adjust the steering box one last time, take it for a ride. If we can't get the steering box to cooperate, which is a very high chance, we'll order the new one from Mike, the TRW. It's not new, but it'd be new to us. A TRW steering box that's supposedly good. We'll order that from them and kind of go down that road. So trying just to get this thing where I need to get it. Honest to God, I need to sell it. I'm thinking about consigning it, and I think it's Gateway Classic Cars or something like that. But send it down there and let them sell it for me. Just A, it gets it out of here. B, I don't have to deal with anything or anybody. They do all that and so on. So we'll see where that all goes. But for now, I got to get it steering a little better and fix some of these stupid little problems. And I think we're getting pretty close. We should be pretty close by the end of the day, barring the steering box isn't a complete piece of junk. So see where it goes. Stay tuned, guys. Yeah. Oh, hey. I know you're wondering where's the 58 Apache content. It's coming in this video. Ron has to do some running. I got to take Megan to work. So this afternoon we'll be all over this, and we are going to be there on our live at 3 o'clock. You guys can watch us. We're going to be spot filling and sanding and doing all the things on the Apache. So keep an eye out for that. We are all over it. Don't you worry. See you in a minute, guys. Hey guys. All right. So we are back on the Apache. Went ahead and put a skim coat of all metal across this area here. Ron's sanding it down.
This is where, from about right here to about where his hand is there, that is where the smooth cowl panel went in. So we're just taking care of all that. There were some spot welds and this, that, and the other. Just smoothing that out and kind of working our way around the truck a little bit. We may even do a little spot filling here and there. See where we get. But yeah, we're getting somewhere. I want to work on at some point these spots here, these little pitted areas and stuff, and kind of get that dialed in and kind of just clean this up and kind of work our way around. We do have some dents we're going to hit tonight, right here, here, here. There's one right here, there's one right there, and there's something right here on that shoulder. So we need to take care of those, dial that in a little better, and that'll really bring the back of this cab around quite a bit, I think. You won't physically be able to see dents in it. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys this. We're getting there. It's about 4 o'clock. We did manage on the Volkswagen out here to get the got the battery back in it. We had some weird things that we took care of today. I got the battery back in. Got God, this door is always a pain. Battery's back in here. Rear seats back together. All of that. The seat springs. All that stuff's back in. I vacuumed everything out in here. Got it where it needs to be. Had a blown fuse, which was my own doing. I touched something I shouldn't have. And so I didn't have turn signals, so I swapped out the fuse. Now we have turn signals. And we had a weird issue with this where I had the throttle cable too tight and just a hair, and the gas pedal would come off of the roller and then would just lock solid, and then there'd be no throttle, like you couldn't move it. It was just stiff. So I loosened the throttle cable a little bit, and that took that out of it. So now it's doing what it needs to do. So we're pretty happy with that. And yeah, then when I did that, that completely changed the idle, because now it doesn't have a constant thing of fuel going to it. We're not pushing it. Basically, it was thinking that I was pushing the gas. So went ahead and adjusted the idle and everything on this and dialed it back in, and it's running pretty good. I do think I probably need plugs. I would like to do an oil change on it, and before too long, kind of get that. That's one of the next things I'll be doing. But all the electrical is working good, all that. Battery looks great in there. I do want to turn the steering wheel, take the steering wheel off, spin it to where it's actually, you know, because that right now is straight, and that's not straight at all. This is the bottom of the steering wheel. It should be there. So I'll fix that one of these days, probably tomorrow, and just keep dialing these things in on this. I still have to mess with the steering, but it's getting there. Progress. That's all I really give a shit about. The progress, right? It's getting there. Less problems every day, which is really where we want to be with it. So that's where we're at there. 40 Ford, nothing happening over there. Nothing happening on the Chrysler right now. It's just pretty much been balls to the wall here on the 58 Chevy Apache and dialing all this in. Alright guys, we'll be back in a minute. I'll bring you some more as soon as we get to doing some other areas. I'll bring it to you. Good morning everybody. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Happy Thursday. It's October 2nd, and yeah, we're in October, guys. So kind of a lot happened yesterday that really wasn't well, it was car related, but it wasn't car related, if that makes sense. So let me show you what we did. We started out the morning by going to Auto Body Express to get some spot putty. This Dolphin glaze right here, which is really good stuff. We love it. Got some of that so that we can hit, you know, some of these little pinhole, little
nicks and this, that, and the other that doesn't really need body filler. It just needs just a skosh. So we started to mess with that, and we started to mess with up here, and we struggled for motivation. And what actually happened was, if you remember, the back bumper was sitting right here, or the front bumper was sitting here, the one we primed white. Well, I decided I was going to take that in the back and put it in our shed. Well, long story short, the shed is basically, just think of Storage Wars, the TV show where they open it up and it's just shit everywhere. Let me show you. That's what it was. And so we ended up, we've thrown away 2 garbage cans full of stuff. Not to mention, moved a bunch of stuff. And we'll get into that here in a second. But I'll show you what we got here. Because it was terrible. So it led to me and Ron completely redoing our shed. And I'll show you what that looks like. So here's our, turn the fan off. So this is the shed my dad built in the backyard. It's pretty cool. Basically a house, it's a tiny house. But this is where we have a lot of stuff that we don't have in the garage. So you notice there's a 283 back here and a Power Glide. This is all the drivetrain for this is Chevelle Corner, basically, okay? We made it Chevelle Corner. We've got our spare engine stand here for when we get our LS. We'll put that on there. Took the transmissions. There's 2 here, turbo 350, a turbo 400, and a 4-speed, so 3. Couple torque converters. They were here, which was causing a problem. All of this was just stacked with shit we didn't need. So we reorganized all of this. And then, you know, you got the hood in here for the Apache. If those of you haven't seen it, that's the Apache hood. So you had all that. And we kind of have this separated where it's car stuff on this side, my mom's stuff on this side. This was out to here, literally to here. You literally could only walk in to there. It was terrible. So reorganizing. We got some cool stuff up here. These are the seats that are going to go in the 40 Ford for a while. These are the Chevelle bumpers, front and rear. I got a big block intake in here. All kinds of stuff. So, a bunch of things we want to use, but, you know, you can't really have them in the garage. Also, we got the deck lid to the Chevelle, steering column for the Chevelle. This is a roof section that came with my Chevelle because I need some of this. So we'll be using some of that on our Chevelle, which tells you the condition of our Chevelle. But yeah, that's what we did, really. Turn the fan back, man. It's got an exhaust fan up there. So, it was a lot of that, right? Trying to just get things where they needed to be. These wheels and tires were in there. There's no reason for them to be in there. You know, just stuff like that. So, we had ourselves a day. We found some more Apache parts, actually, and a whole other box of Apache parts from where I had taken the dash apart. So I have wiring, fuse panel, gauge cluster, the original cluster, which is shot, but it's at least it's there. It's great wall art, and so on and so forth. And I'll show you what that did for in the garage here. Did and is going to continue to do. Well, 1, the bumper's in there. For 2, this hole here was the Chevelle engine. This was the 283 and Power Glide. So now we have a gigantic hole. When you pull this welder out, you can see it back there. So what I want to do next is buy a cabinet, a metal cabinet that fits here, and put all of this flammable stuff in the cabinet. Get all the stuff off the floor so that we can organize a little bit here, you know, and kind of dial this thing in a little bit. So that's where we're at there. So today I believe that we are going to get pretty involved in the front of this truck and the back of this cab. So it should be an interesting day bodywork wise. Today we're actually going to hit these spots we talked about and start getting some material on them and getting them blocked out, as well as I'm going to work here and get this going and up in here and just really dial this in so I don't have to look at it anymore. And then I'll go over to the other side and we'll get past this cowl area and the firewall and just try to keep moving back. Now we do have a spot on the roof. It's right where that black line is. Let's see if I can get up here to show you without falling down. It's right here. Right there. So we're gonna have to deal with that. Not a big deal, but a deal nonetheless. So stay tuned for all this, guys. We're gonna have an interesting day. I'm gonna get that fender out of here and just keep cleaning to where we can be more useful in here, because right now we're very inefficient. We just happen to know where all the shit is. But if anybody else walked in here, they would be completely lost and be like, oh my God, that's not the world we want to live in, you know? So, stay tuned, guys. If you're watching this, please like and subscribe. This is our 1958 Chevy Apache, if you haven't been watching. We should be taking that cab off the frame by next week. And then October 16th, so 16th of this month, really 14 days, we're ordering the Hyatt's Mustang 2 front suspension. And we'll be completely taking this frame apart, down to bare metal, epoxy, prime, metal condition, do all the things. And then we'll kind of be rocking and rolling here. We'll be putting suspension in. I tried to buy a 5.7 Corvette LS1 yesterday, but it fell through. So actively seeking an LS engine. I wouldn't mind an LS1 in this, a 5.7 LS1, 350 horse, I think it's 380 torque, something like that. All aluminum V8, you know, good heads and so on and so forth with low miles. I wouldn't be against that. You know, it doesn't have to be 500 horsepower. It just needs to be more than 3, right? So, see where everything goes, and I will see you guys here in a minute. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. Alright, so let me show you where we're at here. Not a whole lot has happened to the truck, but it is definitely happening this weekend. Tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday are going to be huge days for this truck. I would like, by Monday, Sunday night, Monday, I want to heavy prime this truck. So that means a lot of work has to happen. Me and Big Ron have been talking about it. We got a great plan. We got everything here that we need to do it. So that's going to happen. Now, a lot has happened in the garage. You guys have seen some of the stuff. A lot more happened today. We have been cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. Now, we ran into a large problem. The regulator here on our water separator for air compressor was leaking. Now, I got this from Harbor Freight. It's a Merlin. I took it back there today. I had a warranty on it, thank God. And they gave me a new one. So I've got a new one here, which is awesome. So we're back up. But there for a minute, we couldn't use any air. We were completely down. And I bought another one up here that's going to go right here or there, somewhere on there. Ron's going to mount it over by the compressor. Because we had a problem with, just as recent as the other day, I was on the other door, the driver's door, bare metal, with a DA, trying to get the OSPO metal conditioner off. And I have water running down my hands. And that's after I drained the compressor and after I drained the water separator. So, not great. So we're gonna try another water separator and kind of, you know, do that. So, that happened. Also, purchased a new garbage can because ours was terrible, which is very exciting. It's the little things, guys. I bought a cabinet that goes here. It is 53 inches high, 17 inches deep, 36 inches wide, metal cabinet with a bunch of hot rod stickers and stuff on it that I'm going to go pick up here this weekend. That is where all of this shit is going to go. All of the flammables, spray paints, all of that stuff is going to go in the cabinet, the metal cabinet, so we don't die. All this stuff. Things that have needed to happen for a very long time. So that happened. We used to have here
And here were two LED fluorescent lights like this. We took the fluorescence down and put LEDs in, which is better. They're not great, but they're better. And I think I'm going to put another one up under, aiming down, so it lights this all up. I have that light. I just need to do it. It's back there by the engine hoist. Now I also want to take these lights down and put that one up right in the middle, or somewhere in here, to where it just lights this area up, because that is as bright as the sun. So want to get that up as well. So a lot has happened there. We really did a good job on throwing shit away. I threw 2 big garbage cans full of stuff away today. Got it out with the trash, 2 of these. They dumped it. They went around the corner to turn around. I filled it up again. I ran it across the street and they picked it up and dumped it again. Love you, trash guys. I'm sure you guys watch this. My trash guys are great. So something else that happened, went to Lowe's, picked up the 1-bys that are going to go on our little utility trailer, painted them white. Basically, we have all of the body parts for this truck, this cab, minus the hood and the bed sides, are on that trailer in the side yard, but it's not covered. So I want to cover it with this blue tarp, but I need these to hold it down, basically. With the wind that we have here and storms and everything, it's got to be a little overkill. So we'll be strapping that tarp on here tomorrow on the trailer, and that'll save all of our parts. Not that we're going to use them, but they'll not be sitting out there rotting away. So, step in the right direction. But that is kind of where we're at, guys. A lot of work has happened. Just organization. Pulled this whole thing out, cleaned up and back in here, swept, vacuumed, got all this dust and shit out of here. I still got to get that white box, that's a torque converter, and all this metal, and that cart, and that porta power, all go in the shed. All this paint sitting here, just randomness, just does not need to be here. And so, still got work to do, but we are getting there, hot and heavy. Shop's getting better. Just a lot of upgrades happening that have just been long overdue, and quite frankly, are going to make us better. I mean, just organization-wise, that cabinet alone is just going to be huge. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I know this isn't a real big video on the Apache, but expect them this weekend for sure, starting tomorrow. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and on will be very, very big days for the Apache. Hopefully next week we're pulling the cab off the frame. And then we'll be diving into this frame, taking all of this suspension off. Any bracket, bolt, anything on here doesn't have to be on here, it's coming off. And then we're going to strip it all down to bare metal. We're going to use OSPO metal conditioner. We're going to epoxy prime the floor, or the frame. And then on the 16th, I think we're 14 days away. 2 weeks from today, I'm ordering the Hyatt's Mustang 2 front suspension with the red 4-piston Willwood calipers and all that. All that's going to happen very, very soon. So hopefully by the end of this month, this truck should have at least the front suspension on it. The cab will be over here. We'll be working on the rear suspension and the 9-inch Ford, dialing in the frame. We're in search of a LS engine. I actually tried to buy one yesterday, but it was a kind of a shit show. 5.7 all aluminum LS1 out of a 2001 Corvette with 75,000 miles. But I absolutely could not get an answer that wasn't completely vague on any question that I had over 8 hours. And I just gave up on it. So, see where it goes. I do have a guy in Canada, up in Manitoba, telling me I can come get a free 6-liter, a good 6-liter with a tranny for free if I come to Canada and pick it up. Might take him up on that. We might do something like that. So stay tuned for all this, guys. Lots going on. If you're watching this, please like and subscribe. And we will see you guys in the morning.